Imagine a beautiful summer day, not too hot, maybe just a little overcast. You and your buddies sitting on a boat in the middle of the lake getting ready to do some fishing. Hi, I'm Ro. Today I'm going to talk about amateur bass fishing. We'll go over your fishing pole and different types of components to it. We'll go over some different types of lures you can use and go over a little bit about casting and reeling in your fish. First, let's talk about your fishing pole. My fishing pole happens to be a Quantum Hypercast. You got the pole itself from the hand grip. Mine's made out of cork, all the way down to the very tip. It gets smaller as it goes down. Got your reel, which you can change out by unscrewing this, pulling it off, putting on a new one. The line on your reel, and these little eyelets right here, which guide your line. You want to make sure there's not rough edges on it or anywhere, because that could break your line. Now, let's talk about different types of lures and bait. You can use live bait, such as crickets, flies, worms, even some baby fish. Today we're only going to talk about manufactured bait. Now when I say manufactured bait, I'm talking about your worm lures, which are pretty stretchy, as you can see. That was one type. Here's another one. Looks just like a worm. You even got the big body part right there. You got some that look like other things in the water. Here's one that looks like a lizard. Pretty sure you got some that look like crickets, some that look like little fish, even move like little fish. You got spinner bait, such as this little guy right here. You see it's got a little fish, hook, these little tassels, and this piece right here, so when it's pulling through the water, this piece is flipping around like so. You see this piece even looks like the fish itself. So when that light's reflecting off of the back part of this, it's going to catch the fish's eye. It's going to go down and investigate, maybe be a little hungry when it does. You got topwater bait, such as this guy right here. It's got a little ring right here where you attach your line. When you do that, this plastic piece is going to pull it down into the water, wiggling it, disrupting a lot of water, catching the fish's attention. There's also this type of topwater bait. There's no plastic piece, but it curves inside, which is going to spray the water about as it's going a little bit down in the water, getting the fish's attention. Going to come up, investigate, maybe get some good lunch off you. So now we talked about your different types of lures you can use, talked about your fishing pole and the reel and everything on it. Let's talk about getting your bait set up, ready to go. Fish, they tend to like it a little cool. So if it's a hot day, sun beating down on the water, fish are going to be a little deeper, so you're going to want to go with a worm with some weight on it to get down to the fish. If it's overcast, cool outside, fish are going to be close to the top. You're going to want to use your top water, maybe spinner bait with no weight. Today we're just going to demonstrate adding a weight and using a worm. So your weights look like this. It's pretty lightweight. You can add multiple weights to it. They come in different sizes, different weights obviously. You got the worm itself right here. You hook. Take the hook directly through the top of your worm, like so. Once you get to the curved part of the hook, pull the hook out the bottom, slide it down, and then flip it over. When you flip it over, you're going to take your worm, the hook, go through the body of the worm to where it just exposes a little bit like so. And there you go. You want it as straight as possible. Obviously this one's not perfect, but I'd probably cast this in, see how it would go. You have just a little bit of the hook exposed underneath, a little bit up top. Now you're ready to go. So when you get ready to cast your line, what you're going to do, grip with these fingers on your pole, take your index finger, pull your line in. It's hard to see the line, but there's line there. Holding the line with your index finger, this piece of your reel, you're going to flip up. So what that does is my line can go free. If I was to let it go right now, my line would drop and just uncoil out. So you're going to want to pull it behind while holding on to it, and you're going to feel that weight. Now there's a couple ways you can cast. You can cast out to the side or straight over top, like so. So when you do that, when you fling your wrist, you're going to get to the point where you're going to let go of this finger. Just your index finger to let your line go. Once you let your line go, you're going to let it sink down a little bit in the water, start reeling in, the reel's automatically going to flip back on. So you reel in just a little bit. So obviously you want it to sink some, so you're going to sit there and wait. When you reel it in, you go fast, you go a little bit slow, or you mix it up. Either way, the fish is going to get attracted to it. You don't want to spin too fast because you'll beat the fish. You don't want to spin too slow because the fish is going to think your baits may be dead or not appetizing. So as you're reeling in, you feel that bite. What you're going to do is you're going to jerk your line out to the side, setting that hook in that fish's mouth. Once you got that, as you're pulling it back, you're pulling the fish closer to you. You'll feel it fighting. When you go down, you're going to reel in, pulling the fish closer to you. And when you pull back, just keep reeling in. By the time the fish gets up to you, you're going to grab your trusty net, scoop the fish out, and you're good to go. Not hard, pretty easy once you get the hang of it, you catch your first fish, you're good to go. Well, now you're on your way to being an amateur bass fisher. I prefer catch and release, most people do. Now let's go over what we discussed. Today we talked about your fishing pole, different components to it, your reel, the rod itself, and the different types of lures you can use. We also went a little bit over about how to cast and pulling in fish. So remember, wherever you fish, more likely you're going to need a license to fish, so I'll show you get that. Hope you enjoy. Have a good day.